was a Triple Crown performance versus the Royals last night for our Sox. Is they hit, they pitched, be gone. They tossed some leather. Down ball, Alexei for first. Yes, what a play by Alexei Ramirez. Mercy. And all three ended up to a White Sox victory. Tonight, threes are wild as Robin and crew go for a royal sweep. We are coming to you from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, Alexei Ramirez in the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Billy Butler, Eric Hosmer, and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set and the final game of what has been a long road trip. 10 days, 9 games. You know, we lost 2 out of 3 in Oakland. We lost 2 out of 3 in Houston. We have taken the first 2 here by the same score of 7-6, so we get a chance to come home strong. But one thing about it, you know, we got Adam Eaton as our catalyst. We had a Jose Abreu, just phenomenal. The guy who's really been the MVP has been Alexei Ramirez.
The one constant has been Ramirez, and he's been doing it with the bat and the glove, and he's been doing it in good times. So here he takes one out against Arizona. He won the ball game, and the fans, of course, go crazy. And then in this, well, we were down 5-0 at the time. Ramirez came up, hit a 3-run homer, put the team right back in the game, and they wound up winning it. And the defense, spectacular. One of the biggest plays last night was Alexei making the play for the knees at shortstop and helped win the ball game. And he's just done a spectacular job.
And tonight's starters, Jose Quintana for us and Jeremy Guthrie for them.
Quintana's been throwing the ball pretty well, and last time out against Houston, he actually threw the ball well. But against the Royals, he's had some trouble. He's 0-3 with an ERA up over 4. Last time out, as you can see the numbers against Houston. So he's got to get that cutter over the plate. This is a big ballpark for him. And Jeremy Guthrie has not won in his last 7 starts. However, against our Sox, he's 5-2. So this is a guy who can be pretty tough. He's a fly ball pitcher, and we've seen the fly balls going out of this park this series.
All right, we are looking for a sweep. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. AT&T Uverse. AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to Kansas City and Kauffman Stadium. It's another beautiful night for baseball. The Sox have won the first 2 games of the series, looking for the sweep here tonight. And let's take a look at how Robin's going to line up our Sox for this evening's game. It's going to be Adam Eaton leading it off, and then Gordon Beckham, who's been red hot in the 2 spot. Connor Gillespie on his 7-game hitting streak has been hitting everything in sight. Then it's Diane Biciedo. Adam Dunn, Alexi Ramirez, who's also been red hot with Paul Konerko, Alejandro Diaz, and Tyler Flowers rounding it out. The key defensive setup and how they'll line up behind Jeremy Guthrie left to right in the outfield. Alex Gordon, Lorenzo Cain, and Norichika Aoki. Danny Valencia, Alcides Escobar, Pedro Siriaco, and Eric Hosmer in the infield. Brett Hayes once again behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jeremy Guthrie. This is his 10th start of the year. He's really struggled recently. Allowed 12 home runs. That's tied for the most in the major leagues. He is a fly ball pitcher. And if he continues that because of the heat here in Kansas City, the ball's been going out of the ballpark. The umpires for the game tonight: the crew chief, Tom Hallion, behind the plate. Eric Cooper's at first. Chris Guccione at second. And Sean Barber is at third. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. We're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Stevie. Thank you very much. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale of this 3-game set. And the first pitch of the ball game is up high to Adam Eaton. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Outfield short, swung around to the left. And the count 2-0. And here at Kauffman Stadium, 330 down the lines, 387 in the gaps, and 410 straightaway center. There's a strike. Wind, not an issue right now. But first 2 games it was. Pulling straight out from right to left. 85 degrees at game time. 2-2.
Guthrie will throw an occasional overhand curveball, but he prefers the slider as the best of his breaking pitches.
And there's a souvenir. Left side. .35-year-old right-hander. There's the ground ball. Pedro Siriaco. And 1 out. That'll bring up Beckham. Gordon at 277, 3 homers. He's driven in 10. He's 4 for 9 in this series with an RBI. Outfield now is going to swing slightly to the right. Gordon has faced Guthrie 33 times, has 7 hits, 5 of which stayed in the park. Finale of this 10-day, 9-game road trip. We come in at 4-4. And everybody's going to be glad to get home. It seems like it's been a lot longer than 10 days.
Probably would have felt even longer had ball club not won the 2 games here in Kansas City.
It would have. Out in front, yanks that one foul.
Get Brett Hayes behind the plate again. One of the reasons why is that Salvador Perez has had a hand injury, and they don't want to risk it any further. They just as soon not disable him. So Hayes is getting the starts. They brought Pena up from the minor leagues to give him a 3rd catcher.
Good job by Gordon. Fight that one off and stay alive. We won game 1 here, 7-6. Some home runs got that done for us. And we won game 2 last night, 7-6. Adam Dunn with a huge 3-run homer.
Won by the same score, but won different ways. First game coming back from a 5-0 deficit. Second game just barely clinging to the lead and holding out.
Belisario picking up the save last night. And Matt Lindstrom, our closer, is going to be out for a while. It's a shame because he was throwing the ball well. As that pitch has popped up. So with 2 out, let's check out our picks to click tonight. Jim Angio, our director and the crew. Then went with Eaton. Steve's going with Gillespie and Paul Lamb, Rich Lamar, David Novak, and all the good folks at Poogie, Hyundai, and Downers Grove. We're going to go with Adam Dunn. So here's Gillespie on that 7-game hitting streak. Average at .347. He is 3 for 11 off Guthrie. Guthrie last year 15-12 for this ball club. And he worked 211 2/3 innings.
One of the things that happened to him last year, which was a good thing, was he got a lot of offensive support. This year, not quite as much offensive support. That's what he's done since putting on a Royals uniform.
Well, that was a career best in wins for him last season. Now making it 8 games as he almost dehorned him.
You can't hit the ball any harder than Connor Gillespie's been hitting it recently. And fortunately for Guthrie, he was able to get down under this vicious line drive.
Connor's been doing that all spring and all season, except for obviously the time he spent on the DL. He's been hitting the ball, actually barreling it up better than anybody. And here's Tank hitting at .296 for homers. He's driven in 16. 3 for 8 in this series with a hard home run. That ball's high. Stretch. It won't. Back on the track. He just missed it. Meanwhile, after a half inning of play, it's our guys nothing, and their guys coming to bat.
Tonight, Aoki, Escobar, and Hosmer at the top, with Butler, Gordon, and Valencia in the middle, and Kane, Siriaco, and Hayes rounded out. The key defensive setup and how they'll line up behind Jose Quintana, Diaz, Eaton, and Viciedo in the outfield, with Gillespie, Ramirez, Beckham, and Dunn in the infield. Tyler Flowers gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Jose Quintana, on for his 10th start, looking for his 3rd win. His ERA pretty respectable at 3.67. Only 15 walks in 54 innings, so he's got the ball over the plate, largely kept the ball in the ballpark, and he's looking for some offensive support, as he has become the king of the no decision over the last year and a third.
Aoki hitting at 266. 2 for 9 in the series. Corners in close. He can run a little bit. Boy, that play that Alexei made last night was just sensation. And the way the game was going, it was a big play.
They had a whole lot of momentum at the time and got taken out of the inning. And our ball club was able to maintain a 2-run lead. It's a strange stroke, kind of inside out, and from his knees with plenty on it, he one-hops it to Adam Dunn, who makes the pickup. And at the time, it's out of the inning. You got the 2-run lead. It gave Belisario a cushion after throwing 2 innings the night before. He was called on to close, gave up 1 run, but had the cushion because of that play, and another 7-6 win.
Well, I'll tell you, he's been playing some kind of baseball. Royals come in hitting at 255 as a club with a 3.59 ERA. Steve, when is it going to end? Lindstrom goes down, just on and on and on and on.
Well, especially because with the surgery, looks like maybe a 3-month rehab as the called third takes down Aoki. It's always a good thing. Keep a base stealer off base. And Tom Hallion said it was good enough, and as you can see, it's right there.
Well, Tom stayed with that pitch because of how much Tyler had to move that glove, and that's just good umpiring when he stays with it.
Well, as far as the injuries are concerned, you see it all around baseball, and you're seeing it with a whole lot of teams. Sometimes they'll get the player back. In the case of Matt Lindstrom, it's going to be a while till he comes back, and that's going to mean Belisario is probably going to be the guy. But Cliff Lee with a sore elbow took an MRI. They don't know what's going to happen with that, and that's a devastating blow to Philadelphia. Felix Dubrock, you might remember him. He actually hurt his shoulder on a car door, but didn't tell anybody. And when his velocity went down about 5 miles an hour, they finally took him out of the game, and he admitted how he hurt his arm, much to the dismay of John Farrell and the Red Sox brass, because they would have never pitched him if they'd known that.
Escobar, as Cooper says he went. He gone. 2 down.
Good cutter low and in, and it looked like he probably went a little too far. I know Eric Cooper thought that. Escobar can't believe it, but it's 2 up, 2 down.
And here's Hosmer. Hosmer at 290. 3 for 9 in this series with 3 RBIs. Yeah, he said he just couldn't feel that shoulder. He said it was a weird thing.
Oh, yeah. Usually is when you can't feel the shoulder. But that being said, I mean, go ahead, admit you have the problem, and then let somebody else come in and actually pitch the ball game and maybe win it. Turned out they lost the game, and they lost a pitcher because he went on the DL.
Stay fair. It will. Nice inning. Nice inning for Quintana after 1-0 score.
We've got some information a little bit further than Robin took it with the situation with Lindstrom, which is not looking good.
Yeah, more bad news for the White Sox. Just, it keeps coming, but he's going to miss 3 months, up to 3 months. He's actually projected to be back on the active roster at that point. He's going to have surgery on Friday. It's the sheath that covers the outside tendon, the peroneal tendon in his left ankle. And he is expected to, like I said, miss 3 months, which is a big blow to this team just because the way the bullpen has kind of found itself these last couple of weeks. And but that's what they discovered with the MRI yesterday.
We also have some news on Chris Sale.
Chris Sale, good news. Starting tomorrow night against the Yankees, and they feel very confident right now. Chris Sale, you can see it the last couple of days. He's been skipping around, just smiling, enjoying himself, and he feels confident that he's healthy. And it's been a deliberate process, but feels good about where he is.
Are we talking about a pitch count that might reach 65, maybe 70, or maybe less?
We actually asked around the 100 because he was expected to go 75 to 80 at Charlotte. He pitched so well that he only threw 68, and they didn't want to run him out there that 5th inning. Robin said, don't expect to see him for 9 innings tomorrow night. Don't expect to see him past 100. I would imagine it's in that 80 to 90 range. They're not going to say specifically. They're going to kind of go on how he feels, but I don't think they're going to run him out there too long.
2-1 the count to Adam Dunn, leading off here in the top of the 2nd inning. Adam 2 for 6 with a homer, a big homer last night, a 3-run shot. Well, that's great news about Chris, and there are still some tickets available, good seats available tomorrow night and Friday night, and seats available for Saturday and Sunday. So with him out on the mound, we should have a nice crowd. With the Yankees coming in, last time they're going to see Derek Jeter in the series. How about the play of Alexi Ramirez this year? That's been awesome.
The play at short last night, Steve and I were talking about a little bit earlier, the 8th inning play, just he made it look seamless, and with Aoki out there, saved the ball game, and he's been doing that in so many different ways, and you can tell in the clubhouse that he's talked about how confident he feels, and just he believes in himself. And I don't know why that maybe wasn't there before, but he said as a 7th-year pro, he trusts his ability, and it's really showing this year.
Well, he's hitting .320, 6 homers, 32 knocked in. We talked about Eaton certainly being the catalyst on this ball club, Abreu being the sensation on it. But overall, day in and day out, Alexi has been the MVP, as there's a wild throw by Siriaco. So 1 out, they get the lead man.
Well, that's an easy double play, and hopefully the offense can make him pay for it, because Siriaco just didn't get any grip on the ball. Now, granted, Guthrie seemingly shot putted it to second base, but Siriaco had all kinds of time and just threw it away.
And that'll bring up Paulie. Yeah, but Lindstrom, that's 2 times out. He was throwing the ball good. When he stays on top of that breaking ball, he's really good. So we're going to miss him. And Robin's used to shuffling that bullpen around now. All it does, though, in reality, is just everybody moves up, and Belisario, who's just been outstanding out there, is probably going to be the guy.
It sounds like it. There's not been a clear, definitive, this is our closer, but all the indications have been that he's throwing the ball the best. And they, Don Cooper and Robin Ventura didn't want to say it yesterday, but they said the guy that comes out in the 9th is going to be the guy for a little bit. And Belisario wants the ball. I got a chance to catch up with him after the game, and he doesn't think there's a big leap from setup man to a closer. I know he's, he's pitched in a lot of tight situations, and I think he feels like he's ready for it at this point. And a lot of that probably has to do with it's a fresh start for him here in Chicago, and probably has taken a lot of those experiences and wants to get this shot. And he said last night the 2.5-minute delay, he didn't worry about whether the call at second was safe or not. He was just focused on the batter if that came to it, and you saw that. I think he just blew those 293-mile-per-hour fastballs past Lorenzo Cain and kind of just forgot about the whole situation.
And Alexei picks up his 8th stolen base.
Hayes makes a pretty decent throw, but Alexei gets a very good jump, and that one was stolen on Guthrie. Not much more Hayes could have done, and the hand in before the tag.
And if he can pick him up, that would be real nice. But you know, we've got some guys out there. Putnam's throwing it good. You got Petrichka, who's really throwing it good. Petrichka against right-handers has just been overmatching those guys.
And you can even extend it to they've found some. Webb hasn't been as consistent, but they love his arm. You know, I think they feel like they have enough guys to take up the spots that Belisario's picked up in those middle innings. But Robin actually even said today that Belisario still could be a 2-inning guy at times. He wouldn't shy away from bringing him in the 8th inning because he can do that, and he's shown it.
Dan Hayes, as usual, buddy, thanks for the good stuff. Dan Hayes from CSNChicago.com. And the count 2-2 to Konerko. Paulie with a home run in this series, a long one right over that center field fence. 2-run shot. Count hangs at 2-2. And lifetime against Guthrie, 13 for 49, 4 homers. Guthrie is one of those pitchers. You might beat him, but you're not going to outcompete him. He is a competitor.
The only time he gets in any big problems is when he keeps a lot of those fastballs up in the zone. And the fact that giving up 12 home runs already, which is a whopping total this early in the season, he's had some problems winning lately.
Full count.
He was originally first-round draft pick of the Cleveland Indians. Since then, he's made the rounds. They found a home here in Kansas City. They extended a pretty substantial 3-year deal to him. Keep him in his free agent year.
Well, when you figure your guy's going to give you 200 or more innings.
Yeah, does it just about every year, and that's invaluable these days. Better
believe it. That's what starters are for these days, to protect the bullpen. That's why Detroit has had such a good record. They've got some terrific starters over there, and they protect their bullpen better than anybody in this league. I don't know about the National League. They got beat today. Cleveland beat them in 13 innings, 11-10. That ball hit in the gap, and look at Cain. He can't get there. So Paulie on that double play that was not turned. We take advantage of it, and it's a 1-0 Sox lead.
RBI number 11. And Guthrie got the ball up again, and this is where he gets hurt. Watch the location of this one. With Hayes wanting it low and away, and Guthrie throwing it up and out over the plate. Sox draw first blood.
Oh, there's something. You look at the box score of this game tomorrow, and it won't show you where that double play was not done.
You'll see the earned run. That's right. That's what you're going to see. The earned run. And, well, how do you make that mistake? You would think. But if you weren't watching, should be a man at first and 2 outs. It's not.
I think I told you the story about Gene Mott. He's the only guy that I've ever heard of that could recreate a game by reading the box score.
Yeah, that's amazing to me. I mean, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
And I've seen
and
guys
he wouldn't
with
tell anybody.
I was saying I've seen guys with great memories, but I have no idea how he could possibly do that.
I don't either. And he said that there was an older fellow who taught him, and the older guy made him promise he would never tell anybody else. But he could He could look at a box score the next day of any game and recreate it off the box score.
Oh.
1 out, 1 and 2 to Diaz. 7 for 26 lifetime off Guthrie. Now this is going to be a rack him up. No, can't get it.
Guthrie has thrown a couple of ground balls, but the one fly ball he threw cost him the run, and they failed to turn the double play again.
And I'm going to show you why they failed to turn it. As watch how he catches it one-handed, then makes the transfer, gives him another step and a half with taking that long to get rid of it.
Well, Siriaco's a shortstop. I mean, he was a shortstop, and he hasn't figured out the intricacies of making that double play yet, because twice he's done the same thing, and it cost you probably a step and a half on the base run.
You catch it one-handed like that,
and then reach in,
bring it back, reach in, and make the transfer.
Nope, you have very little chance.
Here's Tyler. Hitting at .310, 3 homers, 15 knocked in, 3 for 8 in this series with a homer. He hit a hanger last night, way out of here.
A couple of starts ago, Guthrie pitched against Baltimore, where he played for a few years. And with the wind blowing out at that ballpark, it plays as a very small park. And Guthrie adjusted to that. Every out he threw, except for 6, was on the ground, which is actually the way he should be pitching, even in this big ballpark.
And he throws that one away. So he will go into second. Now make him pay right here, Tyler.
That is an error on Guthrie, who threw it right into the sliding Diaz. And Hosmer, who's a terrific first baseman, had no chance to get the glove over.
Want to know the count. Just fires that one off the fence, the protection of that Kansas City dugout. Still got to be alive because there's an opening at each end and an opening in the middle. And it just missed that middle opening. That Royal dugout.
The appeal, and Cooper said he did swing.
It looked like it. 1 and 2 the count.
That error by Guthrie was his 4th of the year.
That's a fair ball. Long peg. Hosmer goes out, makes the nice pick on it. But we get a gift run. We'll take it, and we lead it 1-0.
Forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
One nothing good guys here in the bottom of the second. For them, it'll be Billy Butler, Alex Gordon, and Valencia. Butler 4 for 7 in the series. Started off very, very slowly. Now got his average up to 253. But between their third, fourth, fifth hitters, they have a combined total of 5 home runs.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that they've been above 500 a good portion of this year without any long ball production out of the guys that you would expect to hit the ball out of the park.
Well, this entire lineup has 9 tonight. None for Aoki, 2 for Escobar, 1 for Hosmer, 1 for Butler, 3 for Gordon, 1 for Valencia, 1 for Kane.
It is absolutely amazing when you consider that there's some guys that have in the past hit the ball out of the ballpark. This year they're just not doing it. Fewest home runs in the first 45 games since 1990. The Cardinals with 15 and 91. Then you see it was early in the 90s when the power outage started. And the Royals in 2014 were just 20 up.
That ball hit into right field deep. We got a man there. Seattle makes it 1 out.
There's a home run in most ballparks, but not this one.
This one, Fenway. Fenway's close. That's close to Fenway.
They've got a decision to make with Billy Butler in that they do have an option for next year, and the option is for substantial money. And they expect Butler to be a run producer. He's only driven in 17 with 1 home run. So again, a tough decision probably, depending on what happens the rest of the way.
Well, it's a day-to-day game. It always has been, always will be.
If somehow they decide either to move Butler this year or to not pick up the option, then they can take Salvador Perez and make him a designated hitter at least half the time and probably save the wear and tear.
There's a strike to Gordon. Hitting at 271, 3 homers, 24 knocked in. Well, there are a lot of teams that would value Billy Butler.
I believe that he would not be without a job for long.
Oh, how about that little bowling hook bounce? Hits the side of the mound, bounce right over to Alexi. 2 down.
Look, a nice pick on the other end by Adam Dunn. You love one of these. This looks like it's going to be a pretty difficult play, and then it hits the mound and bounces right to him. And Adam able to pick the throw. So the big man makes a pretty good pick.
I wish they would have done that like in my time zone.
What's that? Allow the pitcher to choose whatever baseball he wants?
No, the hitter. The hitter to choose the baseball. That ball hit the mound, bounced over. He asked Allen to look at it, and he throws it out. If it hits the ground, he's going to throw it out. That pitch just popped up and back. And it's going to be out of play. Yeah,
what's always amazing to me is not necessarily a hitter asking for it, because obviously with a scuff on it, the hitter would like it out of the game. But I've seen many instances where the umpire doesn't ask for it, and either the catcher or an infielder will just throw the ball out after a scuff. Pitchers used to live to have a scuffed baseball thrown to them because they had worked on it in the bullpen. They can make it sing and dance if they want to. The ball will pull in the direction of the scuff depending on where you hold it. and you can get a lot of extra movement.
Valencia comes in, limited action at 306, 1 homer, 6 knocked in. 10 for 30 this year against left-hand.
That's what he did with Baltimore. Face almost exclusively left-hand pitchers and did a pretty good job. But he's getting a chance to play a bit more because Moustakas has just been woeful. And Moustakas hitting 152 allows Valencia to get some playing time against the right-handers as well as the lefties.
Well, he started the ball game last night.
He did that and picked up 2 for 3. Pretty decent.
.329 career hitter against left-handers. That's a nice kick. Peg, yes. Nice inning. 6 up, 6 down for Quintana. In the Miller Lite Bullpen Sports Bar at 7:30 p.m. Teams of 2 to 6 fans can compete in 3 innings of trivia. Now each member of the winning team will win a ticket to the all-inclusive home plate club for a future game. You must have a game ticket and be at least 21 years old to enter the Miller Lite Bullpen Sports Bar. Top of the order for us: Eaton, Beckham, and Gillespie. And after this game, we're going to board our charter and yes, come home.
Go home.
Come home to them. We're going to have
long home
11 days, 10 games. We're going to have starting tomorrow night. As there's a chopper 2 hopper. The Yankees for 4. Now there are seats available, good seats available for tomorrow and Friday's game. There are going to be big crowds. There's no question about that, especially on Saturday and Sunday. But tomorrow, Chris Sale on the bump. And the White Sox are going to expand the K zone for Chris. That has been really a popular thing. They're going to expand the seats out there. It's a new ballpark promotion this year, as there's a breaking ball strike in sections 154 and 55 for a total of more than 930 seats. Fans who go out there to get a ticket are also going to get a free K-Zone t-shirt and a strikeout card, which can be picked up at the hashtag Sox Social Lounge before the end of the first inning. Those tickets are just $20 for most games, with the exception of Family Sundays when the tickets are just $15.
And after the Yankees come to town, the red hot Indians who just swept the Tigers will come in for a 3-game series. Then a day off, and San Diego wraps up the homestand.
The ball hit well into right center field. He's not going to get that one. So Beckham flexing his muscles. Picks up his 5th double.
Gordon crushes this one down. And Kane, with excellent speed and a good jump, just can't get to it.
Gillespie ripped a single up the middle.
Connor hitting .310 with runners in scoring position, which is more than respectable.
And also the Sox would like to encourage the fans to try to get to the ballpark as early as possible because of the big crowds that we're going to have this weekend. Watch out. Trying to get in there. He did. Way in. 2-0. Watch out.
Kind of an interesting throw. As Guthrie turned around, and the closest guy to second base was Gordon Beckham. The second closest was Chris Guccione. And somewhere back there was Alcides Escobar. As you can see, Gordon's right there. Guccione is right next to him. And he throws to Escobar, who's almost in the outfield. Odds are you're not going to pick a guy off like that.
And rather difficult.
And by the way, you don't have to throw if you turn, pivot, and look at second base and nobody's standing there.
Top hand on that one. Riaco. Well, it was not a good throw.
Pedro's having a hard time getting the ball over there.
Well, he's got one of the best in this league. I don't know about the National League. One of the best in this league at first base in Hosmer. You got 3 real outstanding first basemen in the American League. You got Hosmer, you got Loney down at St. Pete, and you got Teixeira in New York. Those are probably the 3 best in this league. There's Tanks. Tank just missed one. High, towering fly ball, taking Gordon back on the track. I think the guy probably with the most range is Hosmer.
Guy who thinks he has the most range might be Cabrera. Because he goes way out there.
Get down. Get down. More stays up for him. Hit it too hard. And that'll retire the side. We lead it 1-0.
bullpen photo for a chance to have it shown on our broadcast later in the game. Brought to you by AT&T.
One nothing good guys here. It'll be the lower third of their order. Kane, Ciriaco, Hayes. Just tuning in. Tampa retired the first 6. And there's strike. Kane 3 for 9 in the series with 3 RBIs.
He's had a good series. He's had a good series in the field.
He's had a good series against us every time he's played us.
Royals really like him defensively. He sets up well, gets a good jump on just about everything in center field. The biggest problem is staying healthy.
One and 2 the count. Yeah, this should be a fun homestand. Weather's supposed to be good, according to my iPad. He gone.
Good straight change. That ball out of the zone. And our Menards pitch tracks, take a look at the location. Setting him up with fastballs and putting him away with the changeup.
I switched my weather apps. Went to Yahoo.
And now you have it accurately to the minute.
Close. Close. As here's Ciriaco, 2 for 4 last night. He has faced Quintana 6 times, has a couple of hits.
Well, make no mistake, it is a big lift to the ball club when you get your number 1 back, and Chris Sale is coming back tomorrow. It's just lifting everybody's spirits. Now you got the guy. You have the man back in your rotation, and it helps everybody.
It's just like when Adam Eaton got back in the lineup.
Same thing.
It's a different personality. Our ball club has a different personality with Adam Eaton leading off that lineup. The only thing bad about this is we're still don't have the cannon.
No, eventually he's going to come back, and hopefully sooner rather than later, because getting Eaton back, getting Sale back, let's assume that Chris is 100%, which we believe he is. You get Abreu back, and now you can start putting some consistent wins together.
I was talking with some friends back in Chicago this afternoon. Yeah, when we get Avisail back in right field, we got Eaton out there. Of course, with Abreu, there's a chopper. Can't get him. So you can cancel the post-game show. Infield hit.
Ciriaco got down the line pretty quickly. And he's able to beat the play. So 7 straight retired until that.
So here's Hayes. Brett 0 for 19 this year. But we were talking, and one of them down in Florida. Been watching on iPad, not on GN. That's what a fun thing it is this year to be watching these kids.
And when you can put 5, 6, 7 runs up every night, it's exciting. When you can come back from a 5-0 deficit in the first inning, it's exciting. And that's exactly what this team has been doing. It hasn't been as consistent as you want to. No injuries have forced a lot of play that hasn't been as good as everyone would like. That being said, When you can score runs, it's an exciting team.
Especially in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning as he takes off. He just looks the second. He'll step on the bag for out number 2. But when you're leading the major leagues in runs scored in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, and also leading major leagues scored in the 9th. Last night we scored 3 in the 8th on that 3-run homer by Dunn. Boy, that makes it exciting. They don't quit.
Well, at the time that Adam hit that 3-run homer, all we thought was that, well, it takes him out of save situation, and we won't find out who the closer is this evening.
And there's a base hit. There's a stolen base. Well, not the stolen base, but the infield hit more than anything. And the game is tied at 1.
9th run batted in of the year for Aoki. This was a curveball that stayed up. It wasn't his usual breaking ball, and Aoki was able to guide it into left field, and no chance to cut down Ciriaco at the plate. But the best part about that throw was the throw would have been able to be cut off by Gillespie. Consequently, Aoki, who is a good base runner, reading the angle of the throw, couldn't take off because he'd have been dead at second.
Here's Escobar, struck out his first trip. Royals 36 for 47 stolen bases. Rookie 5 for 8. Back through the middle. So 1 in, 2 out, 2 on. And that'll bring up Hosmer.
No chance for Quintana there as that ball rifled back through his legs. Now Tyler Flowers out to the mound to have a word with him.
Hosmer grounded out softly to his counterpart, Adam Dunn. Takes ball 1. We're talking about coming back. This year we have 2 wins when trailing after 8 innings. And that matches our total for the entire season last year. Hosmer had a good pitch to hit and couldn't do anything with it.
Well, he pretty much knew at 2-0 with Butler in the on-deck circle he was going to get a fastball. And unfortunately, he fouled it straight back. Got a very hittable fastball, but couldn't put the good part of the bat on.
Another good pitch. Maybe just a little up for him. Put on a 2-1 count. Good pitch to hit. 2-2. Outfield straight up, about equidistant. Oh boy. Full count. So good speed aboard. Bale. Out and around. That one chops it foul.
He threw him a breaking ball, and Hosmer able to stay alive, not get too much into the swing.
Well, he got away with it because that was getting me over. Yep.
80 miles an hour right down the middle.
3-2 getting me over. Breaking balls have a tendency to get hit very hard. The 8th pitch of this sequence. With a nice backhanded pick, gives him a bad feed, but he comes down on it. Wow, good play by Quintana right there on a high feed. Meanwhile, they come up with a run. We're tied at 1.
And it's the final out of the inning as Adam does a good job there, and then the little looping throw and almost throws it over the head of Quintana. They'd like to get one a little lower next time, but Jose able to go up and down on the bag before Hosmer can get there.
It'll be done. Ramirez and Konerko. First pitch strike. Adam walked to lead off the second inning. Change up. And the count 3-1.
Guthrie trying to get a changeup over the plate. Now it put him in a hole.
So the count goes full. Big Adam Dunn. The leadoff walk again. And if you're looking for a flexible ticket plan for the season, Sox Pick 7 and Pick 14 plans let you select the games you want, including great matchups, promotions, and fireworks nights. These flexible ticket plans, but just call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. Here's Alexei. Hit in what should have been a 1-4-3 double play, but Sirianko made a bad throw. We took advantage of it. Alexei stole second and scored on Konerko's base hit.
I think on the backswing, Alexei got a piece of Hayes, who shook it off. Just don't like that a whole lot, but it happens.
Lays off that one. Out and around that one. Alexei now 7 for 41 lifetime off Guthrie. I don't know if he's ever faced him. He's been swinging the bat this well. To Hopper, they're going to go to second for the force. So the lead man down, and that'll bring up Paulie.
Now it sets up another stolen base attempt. Actually did the same thing, grounded into a forced play in the second inning, then promptly stole second base and scored on the base hit by Paul.
First pitch strike to Paulie. Short lead by Alexei. Static. And back him up. We go to the bottom of the fourth, tied at 1.
Game live on csnchicago.com. Brought to you by Comcast Business Class.
Butler, Gordon, and Valencia. Well, Kansas City here in their half of the fourth inning. Butler 0 for 1, fly deep to right field, taking Tank back on the track. Fisted that one in there, so the leadoff single.
Well, they tried to get this one inside and couldn't quite get it there. Butler doesn't get a whole lot of it, just enough to get it by Gordon.
So here's Alex Gordon, grounded out to Alexei. Outfield straight up, spread out. One and one to count.
Gordon is their #1 run producer, and that's somewhat surprising for a guy who was a leadoff hitter the better part of the last 6 years.
That pitch is downstairs. Well, our boy did it again today. Huh?
Jeff Samardzija threw exceptionally well.
7 innings.
7 shutout innings, seemingly thinking that he had won his first game of the year.
That's amazing.
But the Cubs gave up a 2-0 lead in the ninth and then went on to lose it in 13. Samardzija getting yet another no decision. He hasn't won since last August. And he's thrown.
And he's leading the league in ERA.
Leading the league in ERA, throwing the ball as well as anybody in baseball, and still can't get a win.
High pop up right side. Back from being called off by a Tank. 1 out. Yeah, that really is getting to be ridiculous.
Especially when you throw as well as he did. Only to see it slip away yet again.
Here's Valencia. Went out to his counterpart, Gillespie. Hunter handled a tough hop. Made it look easy. Playing behind Butler. And there's first pitch strike. Taking some other scores for you. Toronto leading Boston 5-1. Bottom of the 6th at Fenway. Nice. Kept it in front of him. Cincinnati beat Washington 2-1 in D.C. Milwaukee leading the Braves 6-1, top of the 9th in Atlanta. Oakland 3, Tampa Bay 1, bottom of the 6th in St. Pete. 2-1 the count. Pittsburgh leading Baltimore 8-6. That's in the top of the sixth at PNC. And there's a base hit up the middle. Butler now is going to have to pull up at second. Not hit hard, but placed perfectly. And it'll bring up Lorenzo Cain, who struck out on a good changeup his first at bat.
That fastball on the outer third taken right back up the middle, and the advantage with Billy Butler at first is there's no way he's going to third. With Aoki, Escobar, or Hosmer, perhaps even Gordon, they're at third base, but not so with Butler.
Margin keeps going like he is. He's going to be their version of Jose Quintana of last year.
With the one exception is that he's going to break the bank, Mr. Samardzija, when they do inevitably move him.
Big hack by King.
I'm not thinking he can get to 17 no decisions.
That would be hard to do. That's a record.
That's an inordinate.
American League.
That's an inordinate amount of no decisions. Everything has to go just perfect.
Well, it's going just perfect for him so far.
Yeah. I'm sure he's a very happy man these days.
That ball is hit hard, but all it is now it's 1-2 count.
Cain came over from Milwaukee. He was their product. He came up through their system, and he came over in the Zach Greinke deal. Greinke had to okay the trade because he had a limited no trade. He agreed to go to Milwaukee for finding his way to Los Angeles Dodgers and a whole lot of riches.
A little soft fly ball on the short left field. And it's going to fall. And that will load him up with 1 out. So 2 soft singles, 3 soft singles this inning have Quintana in trouble.
And gets this one off the end of the bat. And there was a chance for a moment that they might have had Butler at third, but it was not to be.
That'll bring up Pedro Siriaco. Had an infield single. Came around to score.
Those numbers with the bases loaded are pretty impressive for a guy that has not had a whole lot of play and was with 4 teams last year, including AAA Omaha, with Boston, San Diego, and found his way here to Kansas City late in the year.
All right, a 1-2-3, come on. Back him up, yes. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 5th, tied at 1. 30th for the Great Clips Summer Sweepstakes details. Now the grand prize winner throws out the first pitch on Mullet Night. Mullet Night, Friday, June 13th. Plus White Sox tickets and a pregame patio party. So purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or 866 Sox Game. 5th inning, 1-1 tie. Piazza, Flowers, and back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton. Valencia was in close. Brought him in a little closer. Valencia right at the cut of the grass. Now on the grass.
But if Alejandro's thinking about a bunt, you got to drag it because you're not going to be successful if you bunt it to Danny Valencia.
Jammed him, pops him up. Escobar. And Friday, May 23rd, come see our Sox take on the Yankees at 7:10. All fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by Athletico Physical Therapy. Athletico Physical Therapy, better for everybody. So whitesox.com or 866 Sox Game. Still with seats available for tomorrow. Chris Sale on the bump for us against the Yankees in the first of that 4-game set. And Friday. And there's seats available for Saturday and Sunday. But Sox are asking everybody to try to get there as early as possible. There are going to be some big crowds.
That's your last chance to see Derek Jeter. And a big 4-game series to do it.
Yankees with that win today, 24-21.
And Baltimore going into the bottom of the 6th inning, losing to Pittsburgh 8-6. That score holds up. New York will move into first place. This is what it looks like in the East. The Yankees winning that extra inning game at Wrigley Field. Baltimore down in that one. Blue Jays having a pretty decent year. Boston and the Rays struggling.
Count goes full. Tyler.
Guthrie hung it and got away with it. This one catching the top of the zone. And Hayes did a nice job of catching it with the glove down to make it appear lower than it was, although it did have about half the ball in the zone.
Here's Adam Twice. He is bounced out to Siriaco at second. Takes it outside. Huge gap out there in right center.
Well, you hope that Guthrie will throw a breaking ball, and that's a pitch he can pull in the gap.
You're
going to play him as an off-field hitter. You go with the pitch him away, play him away philosophy.
That one just off the plate. Guthrie gets the call. That one's right there. So 2-2. Little lollipop curveball right there. We're halfway home, tied at 1. As we get set to go to the bottom of the 5th, Brad Hayes then back to the top of the order with Aoki and Escobar. We have a run on 3 hits, have a run on 6 hits. The 6 hits, all of them have been hit very softly. Hayes, 30-year-old receiver. Gordon slowed up. Gordon got him. The fans, the First Merit Bank Stadium Club offers breathtaking views of U.S. Cellular Field and delicious food and beverage options for you to enjoy prior and during White Sox games. Now purchase a First Merit Bank Stadium Club membership by calling 312-674-1000.
Aoki has really enjoyed hitting against the Sox. Lifetime 367, only a small sample. He's been to bat 30 times.
He's 1 for 2, a strikeout and an RBI single. Just shoved it right in the hole between third and short.
Dayton Moore, their general manager, decided that they needed a leadoff hitter and they needed a 2-hitter. So he got Aoki from Milwaukee and got Omar Infante, who's currently on the disabled list with a bad back, and he got him to hit number 2, which was 2 good additions to this team.
Two down. Every time Aoki hits the ball, sounds like he's hitting right off his thumbs.
He doesn't hit it real hard, but he hits it effectively. And he is a base stealing threat whenever he gets on.
Here's Escobar. He has a strikeout and a single, soft single, grounder up the middle. Pretty good pass at that one. We mentioned in 13 innings, Cleveland beat the Tigers 11-10.
You don't see many walk-off walks.
But Al Albuquerque did it today. Home runs in that game. J.D. Martinez hit number 2. Alex Avila hit number 4. And Victor Martinez hit number 12. That's into center field. And that'll retire the side. A nice 1-2-3 inning. We're into the 6th, and this game tied at 1.
School. There's 28 students. As you can see, very excited to be here. They're from Decatur. They've got about 8 or 10 teachers with them to make sure that everybody stays in line. And this is, of course, an educational field trip.
Gordon takes first pitch strike. He is 1 for 2, a double deep it into center field. And once again, a reminder, K zone for Chris Sale is going to be expanded tomorrow as that pitch is popped up. Kane is there, so 1 out. It's going to be expanded, and fans who buy a ticket in sections 154, 50, 155 can pick up a free T-shirt and strikeout card outside the Sox Social Lounge every time Chris Sale starts. Tickets in the K zone for sale are only $20 for tomorrow night's game. T-shirts and strikeout cards must be picked up by the end of the first inning. So for more information or to buy tickets, visit whitesox.com/K zone. Connor 1 for 2 takes ball 1. Once again, the Sox are recommending that all fans get to the ballpark as early as possible for the next 4 days to accommodate the big crowds that are going to be there.
Safely in 26 of the 28 games he's played. The only thing that's really been able to stop him this year has been a sore thumb. Other than that, pitchers haven't bothered him at all.
Yeah, and that was because he got jammed. He didn't get jammed much, but the couple of times he did, evidently, it took his toll with that bone bruise.
He tried to play through it. I'm sure you've had a couple of bone bruises and realized that not too comfortable.
Bone bruise in the hand for a hitter is worse than a toothache.
Is there anything you can do? Can you put any kind of padding on your thumb or anything along those lines to take some of the vibration out?
The only guy I ever see put a
a donut around his thumb was Rick Reichert, because he got jammed so much. Reichert, former fullback at Wisconsin, and he played for the Angels and some other teams, White Sox. Has fell down off him.
Seattle doesn't appear to be too happy with that one.
Off his back, just above his right knee.
Got him off the back leg and the front leg both.
I'm telling you, it's just amazing. The angles, these guys are fouling baseballs off.
I have no idea how they do it off the back leg.
In my whole career, I'm talking about from Little League all the way up to a big league career, I never saw a guy foul one off his back leg. Escobar's got him, and that's a 1-2-3 inning.
Sportsnet for Blackhawks postgame live. Go inside the locker room, hear from Coach Q. Get the breakdown on Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. Blackhawks postgame live tonight after White Sox postgame live right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Got the heart of the Royal Order coming up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-3-0 for us, 1-6-1 for them. Be Hosmer, Butler, and Gordon. First pitch strike. Hosmer twice has grounded out to Dunn. Once unassisted, once 3-1. Almost got him to bite.
Casiedo is back where he should be, fairly deep in right field. Hosmer's hit a couple of shots in this series that, but for some severe topspin, would have both been out of the park.
There's a chopper 2 hopper.
The 1 out. And here comes Billy Butler, who's going deep to right field. Taking Tank on the track. And he singled softly between first and second.
Want to know the count.
As you can see, Jose is keeping the ball on the ground, which is normally a good thing. In most parks, you can get away with a few more fly balls in this park. But as always, ground balls are preferable.
Butler is 28 years old. Just turned 28 years old in April. He's been around a long time.
I was going to say, it's hard to believe because seemingly he's been around for 15 years.
Two-one pitch. High, towering pop up to left field.
Jose gets this one a little higher than he would like. And Butler really unhappy because that was probably in a good spot for him, but he got way under.
1/32 of an inch. That ball.
That's long gone.
Way out of here. That's reminiscent of a Harmon Killebrew type pop up. Hall of Fame first baseman for the Minnesota Twins. .573 home runs. One and one. Gordon is grounded to short and popped up to right.
Quintana had a tough third and a tough fourth. Combined gave up 6 hits, but just the 1 run.
That's very close, but just foul.
Last time that ball bounced was actually in fair territory, and then it just shot to the right, obviously in front of the bag. Right here, it's in fair territory, but see the call by Eric Cooper. Says nope.
Took a right turn.
A drastic right turn, or Gordon had been out.
Just did get a piece of that one. Hard high or slow low, real slow low. Once again, a reminder, tickets still available for tomorrow and Friday night's game against the Yankees. Chris Sale on the bump tomorrow night, so make your plans to be with us. Watch out. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 7th. Tied at 1. Your photo to hashtag Southside Fan Photo for a chance to be shown in our broadcast, and that's brought to you by AT&T. And there's a Sox fan, future Sox second baseman. As we get set to go to the 7th, it'll be Dunn, Ramirez, Canerco. And once again, Jeremy Guthrie pitching well against us.
5-2 lifetime, and hasn't had a whole lot of difficulty. Hasn't given up a hit since Beckham's double in the 3rd. He hasn't had too many jams to pitch out of, but the 2 that he was in, he pitched out of.
First pitch strike.
And I'm probably not the most happy about the location of that one.
I get.
Guthrie, since he put on that Kansas City uniform, 5-2 against our Sox, so he turned it around drastically.
That ball's hit hard. Get over his head. He got a good jump. Made that play look easy. That ball was absolutely tattooed.
Well, as he should have been, Kane was back there anyway. Adam really crushed it. But in this spacious ballpark, with 410 to straightaway center field, Kane just coasts back and makes this play.
So here's Alexei. That is 9 in a row retired by Guthrie. And that hit him.
You'd have to believe that last thing he wanted to do was hit a base stealer in a tie game, because Alexei has had a lot of problems with Guthrie over the course of his career, and when you do get hit, if you can steal a bag, and Alexei can do just that, first thing you think about is taking off. That's the 5th man that he's hit this year.
And here's Paulie.
And for Ramirez, that's the first time he's been hit this year.
Paulie an RBI single, and he also has hit into a 4-6-3 double play. He takes ball 1. Well, he wasn't trying to get him. Trying to get in there.
Not in a tie game. Not in a tie game late. You wouldn't want to do that.
Like I say, just a decent lead. Gave a nice little quick fake there that got Siriaco running towards the bag. Meanwhile, 1-1 the count.
That was a nice block. As Hayes made sure that Alexei couldn't wind up at second base. That slider in the dirt. He smothers it and controls it. That was a very good straight change, maybe the best that Guthrie has thrown tonight. He kept it down. He had Paulie swinging at the motion.
Well, he used his head very well on that one. Not quite like Stu Miller, the great reliever for Baltimore and Giants and some other teams. Had a great head action on that changeup. I never understood why guys wouldn't try to copy that.
Well, it looked like Stu Miller was going to break his neck. That could be one of the reasons. The most unusual. He had a most unusual delivery.
High pop up right side. You mentioned he's got big range, big time range all over the place, and he's very good with that leather.
Well, surprisingly, he missed one this series, but you're probably going to go the rest of the year in games that he plays against our ball club and not see him miss another.
Might go rest of the games in his career against us and never miss another one. I was glad we saw it. So here is Diaza. And Stu Miller had some kind of change up. He's the only guy. That I saw was a hitter to pull a hamstring. Had it there so far, had been drizzling a little bit, got out there so far and couldn't stop. There he goes. And that pitch out of play. Alejandro has hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice, and he also has popped up to Escobar.
Those are pretty impressive numbers so far for Guthrie.
Nice pick by Hosmer on a tough hop. Meanwhile, 7th inning stretch, still tied at 1. Nights. Get access to unique social media contests and special giveaways by purchasing Sox Social tickets. So visit whitesox.com/Sox Social today. Valencia, Kane, Siriaco. Here in their half of the 7th inning. First pitch strike. Valencia a sharp ground out to third, then a soft single back through the middle. So he's 1 for 2.
They're playing him as a dead pull hitter on the left side.
Close pitch, didn't get it.
Connor deep toward the line, but Alexei very much in the hole at shortstop.
And that pitch a little low. Just tuning in, we have a run on 3 hits, no errors. We stranded 4. They have a run on 6 hits, 1 error. They also have stranded 4. Helped him out right there on a very bad pitch. So the count 2-2. Laced hard into left. We got a man there. That's a hang Wolfham. Meanwhile, 1 out.
Wade Davis throwing in the pen. Unfortunately, Alexei was in Alejandro was in a good spot because that was a rocket. He was able to make the catch because he was playing well off the line, playing in the gap.
Yeah. Not too much further to his right, and that ball's right in the lights. That's in 2. Right center field, a soft fly ball by Kane. 2 down. And here's Siriaco had an infield single, and he scored back in the 3rd inning.
Jose sailing right along. He's at the 90 pitch mark. Some trouble in the 3rd. And 3 hits in the 4th, but only 15 pitches to get out of that one. And the double play, the 1-2-3 double play, stopped them from scoring.
Also, if you're just tuning in, all 6 of the hits have been hit very softly. Siriaco's was an infield single. All the rest of them, none of them have been scalded. Just found the holes. Two and 1. Again, a reminder, Chris Sale on the bump for us tomorrow night against right-hander David Phelps. Tickets available for all 4 games, especially tomorrow and Friday. The Sox are recommending that you get to the ballpark as early as possible to accommodate the big crowds. Fouls that back. Now, if you can't make it to the ballpark, that game will be over WCIU. Then the final 3 of that series will be right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. Chops that one foul. Count hangs at 2-2. Baltimore has come back to tie the Pirates at 8. That game in the bottom of the 7th inning. PNC. He gone. That is 10 in a row retired by Quintana.
presented by Subaru. Get the recap on tonight's game and all the action around the league. So don't miss the White Sox postgame live tonight right after the game on Comcast Sportsnet. And Guthrie is out of the game, which is a good thing. After giving up just 3 hits and 1 run in 7 innings, and Wade Davis is in the game. Davis is having a very good year. 2-1 ERA, 186 on for the 19th time. We saw him in the opening game of the series. He pitched an inning, struck out 2, gave up a hit.
$17,576. In attendance as Kyle Flowers and Adam Eaton and Gordon Beckham. Tyler is grounded to third and struck out, called out.
Davis came over from Tampa Bay along with James Shields in the Will Myers deal.
Count evens at 1.
And it's the type of trade that you really like to make, a trade that helps both teams.
One out. Now we're back to the top of the order. Adam is due. He's 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs to second and a strikeout on a very slow curveball. A lollipop type.
That was the one pitch probably that Guthrie tipped, and yet still got the strikeout. Gordon in very close over toward the line in left field.
And Kane very close in center. As he fakes the bunt, takes the strike. He hits one out there in the right center field at that high V sign. He's going to run for a while. Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. And the count 1-1.
That was a break.
Yeah, it was.
Threw a good fastball. Which got the whole plate. Didn't get the call.
But Tom Hallion's been good behind that plate tonight. Very good. I tell you, this is for the most part, the exception of one game, especially. This has been a well umpired road trip.
Tardy on that swing.
2 down. And a reminder that you can see your name in lights at US Cellular Field in an upcoming game. You can wish someone a happy birthday, congratulations, happy anniversary, and much more. All proceeds benefit White Sox charities, so visit whitesox.com/scoreboard to sign up.
That last pitch was an example of what Davis can do out of the bullpen that he doesn't do as a starter, because he got that one up to 96. I was surprised at him.
First pitch strike, Beckham. Gordon 1 for 3 in this game, a double over the head of Kane in right center field.
He's had some big problems with Wade Davis over the course of his career.
He's now 0 for 17. And that didn't take long. A couple strikeouts and a pop up to center. We're still tied at 1. Brett Hayes, then back to the top of the order with Nori Aoki. Hayes 0 for 2. He's grounded to first and he's grounded to second. A 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the 8th. That was pitch number 98. And the count 2-0. Outfield straight up. Taking all the way. Gillespie. Just a step or two back of the bag. A couple steps off the line at third. That evens the count at 2. Tomorrow night, Chris Sale back on the bump for us against David Phelps. Ate him up, pops him up, and 1 out.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And it's the 2 runs scored in the game. Paul's RBI base hit coming in the second inning, scoring Ramirez. And then in the third, Aoki punching it through the left side. It scores Siriaco, and the game is tied, and that's where it stays, tied at 1.
Aoki, that RBI. He's 1 for 3. Also this series, the Yankees' last chance to see Derek Jeter, one of the all-time greats. One of baseball's, and has been since day one of our great ambassadors. 0-2 the count.
Jake pitched an inning last night. It was a perfect inning in relief of Rienzo, and he's throwing once again.
The 1-2 bunt. And a man who can run his own at first base. He is 5 for 8 in stolen bases.
All you have to do is get a 2-strike bunt down. If you can get it down, you're going to beat it out if you can run at all. And there's no third baseman around that can be looking for it. So well executed. Now they have one of their speed burners aboard, and he represents a go-ahead run.
So here's Alcides Escobar, 1 for 3. Just joining us, they have 7 hits. All of them have been very soft. They've only hit 2 balls hard.
Aoki has not had much luck running.
And that ball's hit hard. And he's safe at second, so the double.
Big problems here in the 8th. And a hustling double, but a big gamble by Escobar. Just barely in. Chris Guccione on the call.
So they're going to put Hosmer on to load him up for Petrichka. And Billy Butler. Hosmer's 0 for 3 in this game with 3 ground balls. And here comes Robin. What a nice game. What a nice outing. What a good pitch ball game. That's the first base hit that they've hit. It was hit solid. That hustle double right there. Only 2 other balls beside that were hit hard. So once again, Quintana pitches well, comes up empty. He departs, and we'll be back.
For the 19th time, 178 ERA, and he inherits a double play target in Billy Butler. That being said, Butler normally hits the ball pretty hard. That's one of the reasons why he grounds into double plays. Here's our AT&T Uverse multi-view. It shows you Aoki, Escobar, and Hosmer. Good speed on the bases for the Royals.
So a terrific effort by Quintana. Here was one of the 2 balls that was hit hard. Billy Butler taking Tank back on the track, deep into right field. He's 1 for 3.
Petrichka's been in each and every game of this series. In the opener, he pitched 2/3. Last night, he pitched 1 perfect. He's on again in dire straits.
The 0-1 pitch. Now, Butler in the big hole, nothing in 2. Right underneath his hands. One and two. Right underneath his hands. That's a bullet right at him. Runners are going to advance, and it's a 2-1. Out over the plate to Billy Butler is wheelhouse in tight situations.
Well, he got that ball up. It's just exactly the location in the second inning that he drove to right field. And he certainly didn't want it there. He's most unhappy with himself. And it scores a go-ahead run.
For our guys in the ninth, we got the right ones coming up. Gillespie, Viciado, Dunn, Ramirez, Canerco. But we still have to get one more out here. Yeah, you get the ball up out over the plate to Billy Butler in those situations. He's going to beat you.
When Butler came into this league, that's pretty much what he could do. Line drives to right and right center field, and he was just a very young hitter, but that was his natural stroke. He still has retained that. Now he can pull the ball a little bit more often. That one was tailor-made for him.
Yeah, it was. Like sitting on a tee. There's the strike. Change up.
Greg Holland, the closer, who was throwing anyway, is ready to go.
Shocked that Hosmer's still on first base. Playing way back.
For whatever reason, they were conceding second base, and he just didn't take it. And, you know, you leave yourself wide open to a force play when you couldn't get the runner at first. Didn't make much sense, but didn't come back to haunt him at all.
And here's Valencia. He hit the other ball that was hit hard off Quintana. Only 3 balls in this game hit hard off Jose. A change up. 1-0. Come on, Jake. 2-0. Against us, Danny Valencia has been a good trip hitter. 2-0-3-1. In every uniform he's worn, the Minnesota Twins, Baltimore Orioles, and the Kansas City Royals. There's the strike. Ooh, look at that. Going away right on the corner.
Well, that one, when you're missing a number of pitches and all of a sudden you throw that, there's no hitter around that's going to swing at that one. That almost hit him. Very well be that Jake is feeling the effects of 3 games in a row.
I think that's exactly right. He's been, for the most part, one of real 2 workhorses, Belisario and Petrichka.
That was a pretty good pitch, and Jake couldn't believe that it wasn't called, but it wasn't.
It's 3-1.
This one had a part of the lower part of the zone.
Yeah, that's a good pitch. That's one of the few that Hallian's missed tonight, but he missed it at the wrong time.
Not Cooper's coming out. It could very well be that he is coming out. Spend some time on the mound and perhaps let Tom Hallian come to the mound to break it up and have a word or 2 with him. Pitching coaches will do that on occasion. That's so they get thrown out of the game, just so they let the umpire know of their displeasure.
Well, here comes Tom, but as I said, he's had a good game tonight. He just missed a pitch. You know, they're going to miss some. He's had 250 pitches tonight. But that one came at a bad time.
Javi Guerra, who came up when Matt Lindstrom went on the DL, is getting ready in the pen.
Kane is 1 for 3. A little soft duck snort in the left field for a base hit. Boy, this is blue plate special. 2-0, bases loaded.
Yeah, the pitcher
And
struggling
you know
with his control.
he ain't going to want him a breaking ball.
You're going to get the heater.
Man. Right there. Could not pull the trigger. And that's chop foul. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Take a little something off that slider and he'll grab some bench. Down in the way a little bit. Shanks that one is fair, but we catch a bad break there. They do come up with a pair. We trail it 3-1. Takes the love of the game to the next level, going behind the scenes with the biggest stars in baseball and pop culture. So tune in Tuesday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern on MTV2.
Greg Holland comes into the game at 0-1. It seems like, compared to last year, it's not a particularly good year. ERA 2.16, which is wonderful. He's looking for save number 13. But last year, 47 saves, a 1.21 ERA in 68 games. So last year was the first year he was a full-time closer, and he was absolutely unhittable.
Well, we got the right men coming up to get this thing done.
Renzo Cain shifts to right field. Jared Dyson takes over in center.
Happy to see Cain out of center field. He catches everything. 2-0 the count. Bonner's 1 for 3.
Holland with 25 strikeouts, only 5 walks, and 16 2/3. He has given up a home run.
Well, last year these guys had the best bullpen in baseball.
Not too far behind this year. They're still pretty good.
Yes, they are. They're very good. Connor faced Holland 5 times, throwing the collar.
Well, Holland has a big fastball. It's sometimes upwards of 97, 98 miles an hour, and then he's got a terrific overhand curveball to go with it. When they're both working, you have no chance. You just have to hope that the curve isn't working and get off his fastball.
Count goes full. Ball full base hit right here. One 3-0 for us, 3 8-1 for them. And that's a pop up for 1. So here's Tank. Just missed one. His first at bat. Second at bat lined out hard to Cain in center. Then he grounded out to short. He has faced Holland 10 times. He is 1 for 10. Takes it up. That evens the count. Adam Dunn on deck. Alexei in the hole. High breaking ball.
That's a curveball that breaks late. Wasn't one of his better ones, but it caught the upper part of the zone.
And that fastball at 96, out of play. 2-2.
Tried another curveball, but that one didn't come down at all.
Right here, Tank. Get on. That fastball again at 96.
Trying to keep everything upstairs, largely due to the inability to get the curveball down, at least for the moment.
There's a shot base hit. Dyson over to get it back in. Now the tying run comes to the plate. And here's Dunn.
Holland kept everything up. And even at 96, when the fastball's the same speed and you keep it up and out over the plate, get a lot of guys that can hit it. And Viciedo will depart, and Sierra will come on to pinch run.
Here's Adam. He's faced Holland 10 times. He has 2 hits, but 7 strikeouts. Definitely having a tough time picking it up off the little right-hander. Takes ball 1.
Got a break there because that ball had the whole zone.
Whole left side of that infield is wide open.
Holland's having all kinds of trouble with the curveball tonight, so it's a time when he's vulnerable.
Well, this is when the hitter has to understand that, eliminate the curveball, and go to the one-pitch pitcher, and then make him get it down.
For Adam, he would love it down.
At the bottom of the zone. That was not a strike for Petrichka. Walked in the 3rd run.
That was by far the best curveball he's thrown.
2-2. It's full. Now. 44. Now.
Lexi on deck circle. Heading for the resolution of the Dunn at bat.
We have the tying runs aboard, and here comes Alexei.
And Adam is going to be taken down for a pinch runner. It's going to be Leury Garcia carrying with him the tying run. So Dave Island comes out. Island having all kinds of problems with the curveball. He threw one good one to Dunn, who walked for the 3rd time tonight.
So here's Alexei, who has faced Holland 12 times, has 3 hits with Konerko on deck. This is where Leury and Darryl Boston. Leury's got to get a good lead, and that's up to Boston. Make sure that nothing funny happens over there. Now Hosmer backs up. Oh, 1 to count. Ball game is over. You know, I tell you, it's Steve. Our guy pitched so well. There's no question about Quintana, how well he pitched. But a lot of people still don't understand. It is so tough to sweep a major league team.
Well, it is that, and especially when you're facing a guy that, at least in a Kansas City uniform, has given you so much difficulty, and that's Guthrie, who threw a brilliant ball game. He went 7, gave up just a run. And Jose threw the ball as well as you could possibly throw it, but he came up short and got the loss tonight. Didn't deserve it, but that's the way it worked.
And he is our GMC player of the game, Jose Quintana. Jose going 7 in the 3rd, giving up 2 runs. 6 soft hits, 6 of the 7. 1 walk. That was intentional. 4 strikeouts. Our GMC player of the game. So for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Angio, our producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark Harper, for the mayor Mean Joe Groove, the executive producer Jim Corno Jr., also for Cherry, Janice, Dan, Rich. This is the Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with our Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sports Network.